Streaming through a hole in time and space, it's Shmuppi! Hello everyone, how are we doing this fine evening, morning, day time zone? What's up? You all ready to felt some owls? I have all of my barn owl colors on the ready. Beautiful barn owl image, yes! I looked, it is from U.S. Fish and Wildlife. It is a Titus alba. I had to make sure I looked at the right type of, barn owl. So what I'm gonna do today is do a little felting. Let me get these colors in frame. We have this as our reference image. It is going to be kind of an abstract owl. It is going to be kind of a round, blobby kind of owl, because I don't know how to do the wire wrapping thing for the feet, but I can do a cute little nugget of an owl. Okay. Let me get some music queued up, and then we will begin. I tried arc raiders today. Let me tell you about that. Okay. So I was gifted arc raiders today, and before I played with the person who gifted it to me, I decided to do, for quest and tutorial's sake, one outing on my own. And in that outing, let me try and fold this up. This is the beginning of our barn owl. Alright, let me get a felting needle out. On my first outing, it only lets you spawn on one specific map in your first outing. Oop. And that is the dam. Winding this up. But all I did was shoot at some flying arc, get myself downed, and then get knocked out by some dude who I hope is happy with getting a first-time player's loadout of basically nothing. But then I joined the person who gifted me the game, and I had a great time scurrying around, gathering items. I managed to survive 2 outings in a row after that. I kind of want to play it more. Hello, Under the Oak Rag. Welcome to chat. Isn't Scoot the name of your bird? Today we're making a barn owl. Welcome. It's kind of blobby, kind of not looking good right now. Let me use the multiple stabber. I really don't know what I'm doing. It's been a while since I needle felted. Scoot is your blue parakeet. That's right. I remember now. Do 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 do. So yeah, I got to try arc raiders today, and that was fun. I'm quite tired, so my brain is quite empty right now. I'm just focusing on the felting. I also got one of my parental units into Foxhole. I've been playing a lot of shooters recently. June Julie, welcome to chat. Hello, good friend. How's it going? We're gonna turn this ball of fluff into an owl, hopefully. I don't know if it's gonna work out. Okay. Lintwad. Yes. All owls, all barn owls, start out as lintwads. Whether they be living ones or felted ones. Trying to sculpt this. I saw on Blue Sky the cutest. What is the new starter Pokemon that they teased? Browlet? A little owl with a brow. Sprout? 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 Sproutlet? Sprout? Brout? Is it Brout? Anyway, I saw a felted one of those. It's really, really cute. Turn this ball of fluff into a ball of feathers. I will. I will. It'll take many, many stabs to get there, but we will. Thank you for the encouragement. Shmuppi, I hope you know me and Zach have been actively calling owl chicks lintwads ever since you brought it up. Aww! I've actually impacted the way people speak. I'm flattered. But yeah, they do look like little fluffy balls of lint. It's kind of... Here we go. Let me wrap this around here. Here we go. Okay, kind of smoothing over the shape by stabbing it many times. We continue compacting the fluff. It looks like a fluffy little cloud in my hands. I took a shower so I'm not smelly, says Under the Oak Rag. I have recently been going on long walks, and the weather has gotten a bit warm, so usually I shower after a long walk, and it's really satisfying. You know, taking a nice hot shower. After doing something physical, I guess, it just feels really nice. It's nice being able to go outside, because winter was really tough for me. I felt quite trapped inside, I guess. Rotating the owl. Rotate. And now I get to be outside and see plants and see people walking their dogs. It almost makes me wish I had, you know, one of those sort of baby carriages that you can zip closed to be fully enclosed to scoot your cat around. I wish I could take my cat to the park, is what I'm saying. I think one of my cats would enjoy it, not the other two. Now you can see the owls. It's been a long time since I've seen an owl, but I did see a kingfisher. I did see and hear a kingfisher down at the park. It was very blue. They're kind of squat and have very, like, angular, sharp bills. They feel more like a bill than a beak. But they're a fish-catching kind of bird. Sound kinda sad. Is everything okay? I'm just tired. I'm trying to correct my sleep schedule and not have caffeine in the afternoon, and it's really taken a toll on me. Like the other night, I stayed up until like 3 a.m. my time. But thank you for your concern. I also kinda really want to play Arc Raiders. But I am not going to change my stream that I committed to. We are making an owl today. Alright. We're kind of getting a shape we can work with. It's a bit too spherical. Maybe it'll just be an owl's head? I don't know. We can sculpt this. We can work with this. I think I'm actually too tired to do any good even if I played Arc Raiders or Foxhole or something. Wait, let me grab something really quick. Fat, rotund, owl. There, I added reverb. How was that? It doesn't really stand out against the background right now. I wanted to use this for drawing. Let me show you a kingfisher really quick. The kingfisher looks like it was sitting on a branch. There we go. That's my doodle of a kingfisher. That's my best kingfisher I can do. Let's continue felting. Maybe I should use the multi-stabber. Alright, that's getting a good finish on it, but it's not necessarily sculpting it how I want it. This is still all puckered up and stuff. Maybe I need to cover this in a layer of a different white. Doing this at an angle to try and flatten everything down together. It's looking quite good. Today I made beef bowls for dinner. I made teriyaki beef bowls, and as a side I had a bunch of chopped up leeks and green zucchini that I roasted in olive oil in the oven, and it was very delicious. And of course, naturally, I had it all on a big bed of fluffy white rice. And I recently found out that a salad dressing that I like contains celery, so I can't eat it anymore. I found out, you know, why it was making my mouth itchy. So I just put a little squeeze of Kewpie mayonnaise on top of the vegetables, and because the vegetables were hot, it melted in, and it was oh so good. I love Kewpie mayonnaise. It's like light and almost sour cream like. Almost like a creme fraiche. But it's of course mayonnaise, so it's egg based. It's mayonnaise, so it's based. You hear that, everyone? Mayonnaise is based. Alright, doing some sculptural, angled kind of stuff. Alright. Shape check. It's looking spherical, everybody. It's looking quite spherical. Yeah, this orb, this owl is looking very orbular. I was talking with someone recently who said they wanted to replay through some of the Zelda games, but I forgot exactly who. Was that you, Shmuppi? Maybe it was. I don't know. Probably not if it was multiple Zelda games, but I do want to play through Twilight Princess one more time, and I do want to play Ocarina of Time for the first time. Because I've only ever, like, sat back and backseat gamed, watched other people play that, like on the couch, sitting together, kind of thing. I guess these days people get that kind of fix of sitting and watching a friend playing a game through streaming, don't they? So I would be kind of passing it on. It's looking more like an egg than an owl. There's recently released a mod where you can play as Linkle in Twilight Princess. Huh. Interesting. So I guess you'd be running around as Wolf Linkle instead of Wolf Link when you're in doggy dog mode. We're kind of getting there. Yep, she's as small as possible while still having Midna fit on her back. Interesting. A smaller kind of doggy. Let's keep working to flatten this out. Full owl focus, yes indeed. I'm sorry. It just hit me too how long it's been since I talked. This is an audio media. What am I doing? speaking of, speaking of audio mediums, I listened to a podcast about the Murdaugh family murders, which happened in South Carolina in the United States. It was a family annihilation committed by a father who, it's kind of dark. I'm going to talk about a murder. Anyway, this family had a lot of power in their community, and when they fell from power, the father seemingly couldn't handle it, and also he had a bad oxy addiction. And he ended up, eliminating his wife who was trying to divorce him, and his, sort of, I guess you could say, the fuck-up son in the family. But he went from being there's so much going on. There's so much death spiraling around this family and related to this family. The son I was referring to, it pretty much deliberately, drunkenly crashed a boat in a way that led to the death of someone else, and was never administered a field sobriety test at the scene of the crime or being taken away from the crime. It's kind of he never got in trouble and his father would always be called situation. And when all of that power crumbled away, the father couldn't handle it. When things finally started closing in, together with that and the financial crimes he personally committed in not dispersing money to... examining it. Other lawyers at his law firm, and also, the payments for court settlements that were supposed to be, distributed. When everything came crumbling down, and people think that there's still mysteries about the, property that the family lived on and where everything unfolded. But yeah, sometimes I listen to true crime stuff. Alright, let's see. Will the owl stand up? The owl will stand up. I just need to continue flattening it out. We really just need the front to look good because a lot of it is going to be covered by brown speckling. More mentally stimulating than the body cam videos I catch myself watching sometimes, though. Ooh, yeah. Sometimes it feels like you're watching... It feels so... I can't watch body cam videos sometimes. It's too intense, and it's like you are watching the downfall of someone's life, or if it's a situation of, malfeasance by the police, then you're watching someone being screwed over by the system, and I don't know. There are things where I draw a line. Like, there was one that somebody in my household was watching that was about a mass shooter that I just, like, it had my hackles raised. Things about, like, family annihilation or crimes committed by people you're familiar with. Like, I made my peace that it is just a fact of life that the people in your actual immediate vicinity to you and your social circle who have access to you are more a danger than anyone else in your life. And I just kind of made peace with that long ago. But something about truly, like, random, untargeted violence gets under my skin. This stabbing is almost hypnotic. I feel like I could fall asleep doing this. Trying to flatten out all the dimples and imperfections. The owl stands! The owl stands! Look at that. Look at that. We're kind of getting an owl silhouette now. Let me see. I can visualize the owl now. I can visualize the owl. There's a little more flattening to do, but I can visualize the owl. I forget where in Scandinavia, but have you ever seen those Scandinavian log houses? Log and sod. I came in late. Did you talk about any of the tabletop games you're currently in? Not yet, not yet. I have not. Yeah, I should talk about the tabletop games I'm in. My Lobotomy Corporation tabletop game that I am a player in. Not the one that I run and am editing a video about. is on hold because the game master is going to be busy for a few weeks, but I have some homework. I have questions to answer about my character, some of which are really challenging, like what is something wrong your character has done, like, for a fact. Not something they necessarily regret or something they didn't have control over, but something wrong they have done. Because nobody in the city, in the Project Moon setting, is pure. And the D&D group I'm in, which is set in a sort of modern fantasy like 1920s setting, has been really fun. We had our first combat and it was against drowned people sea zombies. And it was very exciting. I got to try and use a sneak attack as my rogue, but flubbed it and gave away my location. I'm playing an old lady, an old British lady who is indeed a lady. She is of the gentry. And it's basically all a joke I made based on this meme that's like Gladys, how to remove blood from drapes and curtains by Gladys Nivens. So I named her Gladys Nivens and made her a very Julia Child-like accent. And she has been a lot of fun to play. And everybody else in the group has been having a lot of fun role-playing and exploring their characters. And it's just a lovely group. And Sanguine Hibiscus is a part of that group, and he plays an interesting character. I don't know if you're okay with me sharing about what you're playing. Owl. It wobbles a little. Alright, let's apply a little white. Try and smooth out that surface by applying some more white fluff. Sure, go ahead. Yeah! He's playing a... Sanguine Hibiscus is playing a cleric of Ilmater, so the sort of god of suffering, I believe twice martyred in the pantheon of the Forgotten Realms setting, who is a Cajun gentleman working in New York as a priest and a D&D style cleric. Among other characters, we have like a stowaway, a magician, a dancer. A real ragtag group. Alright, this is starting to look good. Alright, going to apply this to the front. Now affixing a layer of silky, fluffy white to the front of the owl. Yes, it is indeed ragtag. Yes, we don't even have a dedicated fighter, really. Your character was the damage-dealing one. Oh, yours had the most armor class, too. Yeah. I don't know that you were the most damage-dealing one. I know that Eldritch Blast is a pretty reliable hitting spell. Reliably hitting spell. And so it ends up having a pretty consistent output, and we had somebody using Eldritch Blast. Owl-shaped. Also got super lucky with a crossbow shot, or I would have done a whole 1 damage. Yeah. I think the owl is ready to receive its little edge. I'm gonna use dropping things all over the place. I'm gonna use a thin strand of blonde to begin to do the outline of the face. Let me kind of needle it out first. Alright, from the right angle you can kind of see... Dang it, it's so bright here. I'm kind of starting to needle out the outline of the face. Here we go. We're starting to get a face shape. Alright, I think I'm gonna begin to outline it. Hi, Night of Despair Gaming! I know it's quite late for you, but welcome to the chat. I am very focused on this owl and starting to add color to the outline of the owl's face. Okay, a little more. Just add different colors and dots around the edge. Strips and dots. Oop. Alright, we're starting to get a little color around that edge. Let's build up a little more blonde. Gosh, this is so hard with the leather finger here. Much easier, much easier. Okay, now we begin adding brown. Very slight, thin wisps. Guys, I think I'm gonna fall asleep doing this. This is so calming. This is so soothing. I forgot how repetitive and calming needle felting was. It's been so long. Watch me fall asleep on stream officially for the first time. Alright, we're starting to add stuff around the border. That's all I want to add there, so let me snip it off. Alright, we drape it across there. There we go. We're starting to get that barn owl shape to the face. Let me try and flatten that face really quick. Flat, 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 flat. Give it lots of stabs. Gotta change the format to a video upload to edit out the snores. Yeah. You're feeding your cats. Yeah, I have to take special care feeding my cats because one of them is on medication. Here we go. Owl face. Owl face. Owl face. Will it still stand? It'll still kind of stand. It still stands. Okay. Do I want to do the eyes and beak right now? I think I do want to do the eyes. I need to add its soulful eyes. Alright, let's add beady black eyes. Well, that eye ended up too tiny and beady. Let's add more. Alright, it's looking a little better. Nope, 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 nope. Don't want you adhering there. The eye looks a bit messy. I don't know, guys. I'm really gonna try to fix this eye. Maybe I just need to do the other eye. And then I can adjust by adding another layer of white over it. And adjust the shapes of the eyes. Alright, the eyes look a little better together in context. They look a little better. Need to give it a bit of a brow, though. I have accidentally completely covered the eyes in light-colored fluff. This is hard to recover from. gonna kind of reinforce the darkness in the eyes. I am not happy with this face. I am not happy with this face. It'll look right when it's got its beak and brow. Yeah. What do I have for the beak? Do I want to make the beak out of brown? I don't know how to do the beak, but I'll do my best. There's a little beak. Okay, let's start laying down colors for the wings and body. Just gotta do kind of random spots all over the place. completely off screen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing focus. Let's just make this a wad. Linked wads. Okay, we're starting to add spots of brown to the owl. Alright guys, I gotta admit, I'm not feeling it tonight. I've been doing this for about an hour, and I'm losing my focus, so I apologize to everyone, but I'm gonna be signing off the stream early, and just taking some me time tonight. This owl is about halfway done, I just need to keep adding spots and stuff to it. So we will have another owl felting stream, one where I've budgeted my energy throughout the day better, so I'm sorry everyone, I'm sorry. But thank you for your patience and for joining me this far. I hope to see you next time when we finish this owl. Maybe I'll work on the owl in my own time a little bit, I don't know. It's just really tough for me right now for some reason. So, peace and glub, everybody. Peace and glub.